Guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to do a mani for a competition that I'm doing on Instagram. And the theme for today is to do spooky tales. And if you watch my videos, then you know that I asked you guys for help for a theme for this. And all of you guys had great ideas. It was really hard for me to pick one. Before I asked for help, I couldn't think of any. And then I had all these great manis that I could do, and I had to narrow it down to just one. So I ended up settling on A Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm really excited about it. I've got all these great different ideas, so I think it's going to turn out really cool. So I figured I would do a tutorial for you guys since you helped me. So to start out, all I did was I put a white base on all of my nails, and it's Wet n Wild French White Cream. And then on my pointer finger only, I've got some liquid latex around there to protect my skin because I'm going to be marbling on my pointer finger. And the three colors I'm using is the French White Cream. I'm going to be using Flicker from LA Colors. And also LA Colors Daisy. And I am using my Uber Chic stamper for this. I'm going to be applying the marbling with this, and I've got my little wax paper here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Flicker, and I'm just going to put a few dots of this down. And I'm going to put like a lot of small dots because I want this to be really, really blended together. A few dots of the daisy, and a few dots of the white. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my stamper head and kind of smush it around. And that's how it comes up. So I'm just going to smush this on my pointer finger. And I'm going to dip it in. I'm going to do it one more time. There it is again. And I want it to be super blended together. And it doesn't even have to cover the whole nail because I'm only going to be using the top part of this. So that's what it looks like. Then after I finished that, I took my quick dry base coat or quick dry top coat, which I'm using out the door. And I'm going to put this over the marbling that I've already done. My top coat's getting a little low here. Okay, after you do that, you got to make sure that it is completely dry after this part. So on my left hand, the one that I've already done, I've already put a quick dry top coat on there, and it's dry enough, I think. Get rid of these polishes here. And I'm going to be doing some more marbling, just like I just did, except for this time I'm going to be using two different colors. I'm going to be using Wet n Wild Black Cream and Funky Fingers Galactic Blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these nail tip guides. I got these from AliExpress. Peel this up, and if the little circle in the middle comes out, it's not a big deal, but I'm going to stick it on my finger just to kind of get some of that stickiness off of there. And then I'm going to try to decide, this is going to be a moon, so I'm going to place this little circle wherever the moon is going to be. So let's put it, let's see here. I'm going to make my moon be right about there, I think. Okay, so that's going to be my moon. I'm going to smush this down really well so it's nice and flat. So everywhere that the vinyl is covering is going to be yellow. And everywhere that's showing, except for the middle, is going to be the bluish black mixture, which is going to be my night sky. So if you don't feel comfortable with this, you can put some liquid latex in the middle, but I don't think I'm going to have an issue with that. So now what I'm going to do is, turn my little paper around here. I'm going to put a few dots of the blue and a few dots of the black. And then I'm going to smush it around on my stamper just like I did a second ago. And that's how it comes out. And I'm going to smush it on my nail. And I'm going to be careful not to go inside the circle that is missing. And I'm just going to do this a couple times to make sure that it's fully opaque. Let's do up here a little bit. Okay. So basically that is my night sky. Let's do this little top strip right here just to make sure it doesn't look crazy. Okay, so that's all the blue is going to be my night sky. I'm going to take my tweezers, move this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to try to remove the tip guide here. Okay, so I got a little blue right there, but that's okay. That's an easy fix. So basically that is my moon, and all the blackish blue around it is my night sky. So let me go ahead and do that for my pointer finger, and I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here, and then I'll meet you back for what I'm going to do next. Okay guys, so I have finished up with that last step, as you can see, and I went ahead and stamped some bats over the moon, and I used HEHE057, and I just grabbed a few bats from here. I know I normally show you these things, but this mani has a lot of parts, so you guys know how to do that. I skipped that part. So, also what I did for the moon, I did that for both of my pinky fingers, as you can see. It's the same design there. And then on my thumbs, I did the same thing that I did for the dark sky behind the moon, is what I did for both of my thumbs, okay? I then went ahead and put on one coat of Wet n Wild black cream on both of my ring fingers. And I stamped straight lines on those, but I will talk about that more later once I get to that. So this mani has a lot of steps and a lot of different stamping plates, so I'm basically just going to go through one step at a time, okay? So for this part, I'm going to be stamping from JQ50, and I'm going to be using this image right here. If you guys have seen the movie, then you would know that Jack walks up this, it's kind of like the bank, like it's like a bank of a hill. It's like you're at the top of the hill and you're on like a cliff, and it's like a bank that like hangs over, but it like curls up like that. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this image for that part specifically. And I'm stamping with Bundle Monster Chromo. Also for this part, I happen to be using my black Uber Sheet head and my Born Pretty Store scraper, but I'm going to be using different stampers throughout the video. Okay, so like I said, I just want to grab this part right here for the hill. And there's my image. I hope you guys can see that okay. I'm just going to use my lint roller here to clean off all the parts that I don't want, and you can do this with tape or you can cut it off at the end because I am making a decal out of this. So that's my image. Let me get rid of the plate here. So after you do that part, normally you could put a quick dry top coat on there, but I'm not going to because I've already got the one that I'm going to be using on my nails set up and made. So just to make this quicker so I can show it to you in one step, I'm not going to do the top coat step, but normally I would, after I stamp, put a top coat on all of my decals before I start coloring them in. Now you don't have to do that, but if you're a little heavy-handed, it's a good idea just to make sure you don't pull up the stamping. So I'm going to be filling it in with Bundle Monster Electromagnetic. Oops, sorry, Electromagnetic. And this is one of their Creative Arts polishes. And I'm just going to put a couple drops of this on my scraper right here. And then I've just got this crappy little liner brush here. And I'm going to use this to fill in part of that swirl. Just to kind of really bring it out and make it obvious that it's supposed to be a hill, basically. So I'm going to start from the middle here. And I'm going to fill in this whole first line and this second line. For some people, it's easier to start from further out and work your way in. But because I already did it, I know which lines to color in. And I'm just going to go around, go around, go around. And fill up this whole part, going all the way around back down to the base down there. So basically all of this is going to be filled up all the way until it meets on the to the point there. So everything that I'm just kind of sloppily painting here. And of course, when you're doing this, you know, seriously, you want to stay inside the lines and all, but I'm just doing it quickly just so you guys can see what I did. Okay, so I'm going to put this down for now and show you the one that I made that's already finished. So this is the one that's already finished. As you can see, I filled it in all the way. And when you flip it over, you'll see these silver lines over that gold. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the stuff out for the next step, and I'll meet you right back. So for this part, I'm going to be making Jack, or the Jack nail, and that's why this nail is painted black. And as you can see, I have stamped white stripes on it. In the movie, Jack wears a black pinstriped tuxedo. It's a black tuxedo with white pinstripes on it. So what I did was I painted my nails, both my nails black, like I said, and with white stamping polish, I took the straight up nail lines from this plate, which is BPL027, and I stamped them on my nails completely vertically, as you can see, and I got them as straight as I could. And now I'm going to make a decal of for the rest of his tuxedo, so for the lapels and stuff. So to do that, I'm going to be using Munadunias white. And this is going to be the stripes, and this is the polish I used to put the stripes on my nails. And Munadunias black, and this is going to be the lapels. I'm also using my AliExpress stamper head and my Fab Your Nails cap holder. And I'm still using my Born Pretty Store scraper. I've got a different scraper set right here because the reflection from my lights will bounce back at you if I keep the plates set this way, but this is the only way I can show you exactly what I did. So I've got that sitting there just to keep the glare out of your eyes, basically. All right, so for this step, what I'm going to be doing is a double process stamping. So I'm going to stamp this part of the straight lines of the triangle, so this part right here and this part right here, and then I'm going to be stamping the lapel in black. So this is going to be white, this is going to be black. I'm going to pick this up first and pick this up second. And what that'll do is that will leave the white stripes only in the lapel, and everywhere that there's no image, it will leave the white stripes on the plate. So I'm going to take my black polish first, I'm going to put it down here, and the only part I'm really going to keep is the lapel, so that's really the only part that I care about. I'm going to take my white polish and put it down here, and I'm going to scrape the white and then the black. So scrape it a couple times just because they got lines going in different ways. Scrape the black. There's my image, and I'm going to try to line that line straight up with the lapel at the same time as I'm stamping down. Okay, so as you can see, it just looks completely black right there, but if you can see on the plate here, you can see those lines left on the plate, which means the white lines where you see the lapel, the white lines are still here on this stamper head. So you can do a couple different things here because, like I said, I only want the lapel. You can use your scraper if you're fast enough to take off that extra image. But as you can see, it's going to be really hard to get there in the middle. Oh, and look, it worked because I'm saying it wouldn't. Okay, so, and then after I did that, all right, there's a little bit left on there that I'm just going to try to take off really quick. Okay, so after doing that, you can touch up anything that's missing. So if you have any black areas that are missing, you can go ahead and touch that up now, but I'm not worried about it because, like I said, this isn't the one I'm using. So I'm going to take my French white cream, and I'm going to fill in right down the middle, right in between the lapels, as if that's his white shirt, like his white undershirt. And you don't want to put too thick of a layer on here, otherwise it'll take forever to dry, and it'll probably get messed up before you get it off. And I'm going to try to make the line across the top relatively straight because that part is going to be visible. But I'm going to be covering it up with something. But some of it you'll still be able to see. So, and that's how I made Jack. And I've got my finished one right here to show you. See? Same thing. So, that was Jack. Let me go ahead and clean up this mess, and I'll meet you back to do the next nail. So for the next part, I'm using Uber Chic Plate Halloween-01. And I'm going to be using this image right here. And I'm going to show you what I did to make Sally, or the Sally nail. I went back to Chromo, my Bundle Monster stamping polish. And I'm using my Moyu London rectangular marshmallow stamper. So I'm going to be stamping this image down here. So there's the image. Just take off a little bit of excess I got there. And now after you do that, you're going to put on a quick dry top coat before you do the next step. So let me do that and let this dry, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, so now that that's dried a little bit, I'm going to start coloring in each one of these little sections. So the purple that I'm using is Bundle Monsters Optical Illusion. And I'm just going to color one of the little areas. I think I'm going to do this area right here. So that's the purple. And then for the yellow, I'm using D.O. from Wet n Wild. And I'm just going to color in one little section yellow as well, and I think I'm going to do that one right there. And once again, don't do too thick of coats because it'll take too long to dry and it'll mess up your decal. Okay, so there's the purple and the yellow. And I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and I am going to add another coat of the yellow, only because it's not very opaque. But you got to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll meet you back for the next step.